Hey Omies, I'm Ewashkiw from Adventure Yoga. Today I'm bringing you about a 45-minute, all levels Vinyasa practice. We'll talk about the poses, we'll work on the poses a little bit, and we'll put them into a flow. What are we going to do? We're going to fire up our feet to create that foundation that we need to find a really fun pose, Parivarta Trikonasana, or Revolved Triangle. It'll be part of our flow. Again, this is all levels, so bring what you've got. Bring your positive attitude, unroll your mat, and I'll meet you on your hands and knees because we're going to start on all fours. See you there in just a few seconds. Please come onto your hands and knees. Have your knees roughly underneath your hips and your wrists underneath your shoulders. Then move through a few rounds of cat and cow. If you know cat-cow, you can just start to move. And if you don't, I'll talk you through it. Cat pose is a rounding of your back. So from here, round your back. Push down through your hands and your knees and your feet. Stretch your back. It's like a Halloween cat silhouette. And then move into the other shape, cow. Move your chest down and forward and up. Move your hips back and up. So now your back is arching and your chest is getting a nice stretch. Move your shoulders away from your ears and grow longer through your neck. Cow pose. And then back into cat pose. If you're doing these on your own, you can do them at the pace you want here. Round your back. Push down through your hands. Push down through your feet. Move your belly up towards the ceiling. And then cow pose. Move your belly down towards the ground. Move your chest forward and up towards the ceiling. Grow long through your neck. And back into cat pose. So now you can move through these now that you know them a little bit better. Round your back. Arch your back. Now everybody, as you move through these, as you wake up your spine, just start to get used to moving and thinking about moving. Push down through your feet. Make them just a little more active here, just to wake them up a little bit. Do another couple of these. And then come to a neutral spine. So push down through the top of your right foot. So you don't have to change where it's placed. Just push down through it. So your toes are pushing down, the top of your foot's pushing down. Stretch out through your left arm and push down through the top of your left foot. So push down through the tops of both feet. Push down through your right hand. Lift through your left thumb. And then bring your left hand down to the ground. Stretch your right arm out in front of you. Push down through the top of your left foot. Push down to the top of your right foot. Push down through your left hand. Lift up through your right thumb and bring your right hand down. Stretch your left arm out, turn your left palm to face in, and stretch your right leg back. So one hand, one leg. Push down through the top of your left foot, push down through your right hand, and then bring your hand and knee down. Stretch out through your right arm, turn your right palm in, lift through your right thumb, stretch your left leg back. Push down through the top of your right foot, push down through your left hand, and then bring your hand and foot down. Back to the first side. Stretch your left arm out, right leg back. Stay here, we're gonna change it up. Now round your back like cat pose, bring your left elbow, right knee to touch. So bend your elbow and knee, bring them in underneath you, touch them, and then go back, stretch it out. Stretch your left arm out, right leg back, look forward, and then draw it in and touch. Stretch it out, push through your left foot, draw it in and touch. Stretch it out. Bring your left hand down, right knee down. That one's called tiger pose or Vinyasa. Other side, stretch your right arm out. Stretch your left leg back. Lift through your right thumb. Lift through your left foot. Push down through your right foot. Push down through your left hand. And then bring your elbow and knee to touch. Bend your elbow and knee. Pull them in underneath you. Round your back like cat pose. Push through your right foot and then stretch it out. Look up. And then draw it in. Push through your left hand, right foot. Find your stability there. Stretch it out. Draw it in one more time. and stretch it out. Bring your right hand, left knee down. Come up onto your left fingertips. And then take your right arm underneath your left, Parivarta. Bend into your left elbow so you can get low. Take your right arm over to the left. Bring the outside of your head and maybe your right shoulder down to your mat. I say maybe your right shoulder because it might not come down. Mine usually doesn't. It isn't actually on the ground right now. Stretch your left elbow forward and move your hips over to the right so that you get nice and long through your left side. Side child's pose, Parivarta. Side, I like to think of it as the side stretch here. So stretch your elbow forward, move your hips away. And then come back to center. Come up onto your right fingertips, take your left hand to the other side. Bend into your right elbow, lower your head, and maybe your shoulder down to the ground. Stretch your right elbow forward, move your hips over to the left a little, and get nice and long through your right side. Enjoy this time to open up and get your body ready. We're going to move into a bit of a slow flow, which will become a slightly faster flow, which will become Shavasana. Come back to center. Then come into downward facing dog. Place your hands flat, tuck your toes, and push it up and back. Downward facing dog. If your back is rounding, bend your knees. Move your chest back and get longer through your spine. Lift up through your hips, get longer through your neck as well. Move your shoulders away from your ears. And steady your breath here. Work to feel the pose. See how you feel in the pose. Push down through your hands. Push down through whatever parts of your feet are on the ground. Make your feet active. They're part of the pose. And speaking about your feet, look at your feet. Walk your feet forward about the length of your foot. Step forward just about 1 foot length. And then you might be able to get your feet flat here and go into a shorter down dog with feet flat. See what you can do. Feet flat, legs straight if it's available. And then take your right hand, everybody, reach outside your left leg. So this is called Parivarta Shavasana, revolved down dog. So hold outside your left leg with your right hand. And if you can reach all the way down to outside your left ankle and keep your legs straight, do that. With your right hand, pull onto your left leg and then resist with your left leg. So push your left leg back into your right hand, push with your left hand, and twist and look under your left arm. So let's twist to the left, move your hips to the right. Ooh, yeah, you might feel that in your left leg. Might feel it in your obliques, twisting, stretching. Pull with your right hand onto your left leg. Resist with your left leg. Move your hips over to the right a little. Twist to the left more. And come back to center. Find a little bit of balance in this shorter down dog. And then we'll take the twist to the other side. Take your left hand and reach outside your right leg. Keep your legs straight if they were straight. And then take your left hand down outside your right ankle if that's possible. So if it's possible to do that, hold outside your ankle and keep your legs straight. Do. Otherwise, hold where you can. Pull on your right leg with your left hand. Resist with your right leg and shift your hips over to the left. Push with your right hand and twist and look under your right arm. Oh, that felt good. Got a little crack in my back. I think I needed that. That's what these twists can do. Help you reset. Push through your right hand. Push through your feet. Move your hips over to the left. Twist to the right. Parivarta Shavasana. Revolved down dog. Come back to center. and come to a plank pose. So step your feet back a little, shift your shoulders over your wrists just for a moment, just to find our length, to get a nice long stance, and then come up into downward facing dog again, our full length of down dog. And bend your knees, look forward, and walk forward. Uttanasana, forward fold. Touch the ground, so bend your knees if you need to. If you don't need to, don't. Push through your feet, everybody. Push all of your toes down. Use that to help straighten your legs a little more. And if your legs are already straight, use it to help take your upper body down and a little bit straighter into that deep forward fold. Bend your knees, place your hands on your waist, everybody, and stand up. Stretch your arms out at your sides. Tadasana. Reset. Get a little bit of blood flow back up into your head. That's what it feels like it's happening. At least to me a little bit. Stand at the top of your mat. Tadasana. Stretch your arms up overhead, Urdhva Hastasana, and stay here. Push down through your feet, stretch up through your arms. Keep your arms up, shift your weight back a little bit until your heels feel really heavy and your toes and even the balls of your feet start to get light. Don't go back so far that you fall, then shift forward. Shift forward so the balls of your feet and your toes take a lot of the pressure and your heels start to get light, but don't fall. Shift back. Oh, don't go too far, shift forward. Oh, don't go too fast, Stephen. And then come and find a balance in between those two, where your toes, balls of your feet, and your heels are pushing into the ground evenly. Keep that, and then shift a little from the left over to the left, shift a little over to the right. And notice as you do this that the balance shifts from side to side in your feet. Arms getting tired yet? Cool. Stretch up. If it's too much, you can bring your arms down. Then find a balance between the left and the right in your feet. Spread your fingers, straighten your arms. So find that balance between the left and right in the front and back. I like to think of there being 4 points, 4 corners to your feet. And we have to ground those 4 corners of our feet to really effectively use our foundation, to create that stability so that we can keep going. All right, bring your arms down at your sides. Whew, it's fun, right? Good times. Now, bring your feet together. And again, feel that balance between your feet here. And we tighten it up a little bit. Push down through where your big toe comes into your foot. Push down where your baby toe comes into your foot. Push down through your inner heel and through your outer heel. And work to push down through those 4 points evenly. Stretch your arms up overhead. And instead of hands shoulder distance apart, bring your hands into prayer, like upward prayer, Urdhva Namaste. But look forward. Move your hands back behind your ears and squeeze your head. And side bend to the right. In Dudalasana, or crescent pose, or standing side bend, shift your hips over to the left a little, but push down through your feet. So push down evenly through your feet, shorten your right side and side bend a little more, and then turn to the left and side bend a little more. Push through your feet and come up to center. As you lower your hands, come into a forward fold. So lower your arms, fold forward. Bend your knees if you need to, touch the ground. Step your left leg back and come into a lunge. So adjust as you need to, so your right ankle is under your right knee, left heel is over the ball of your left foot. Push down through your feet and look forward. Push down through all of the toes on both feet, and then lift your torso up. Stretch your arms up. Ashta Chandrasana, or crescent lunge. Push through your left toes and straighten your left leg. Stretch your right knee forward. Hold your left wrist with your right hand and stretch up. So take your right hand, grab your left wrist, stretch up, and then side bend to the right. So just like we did standing, but obviously very different than like we did standing. But we get that side bend action. Stretch back through your left leg, open up your right side, and then come back up to center. We're going to step forward, but you're going to keep your left foot off the ground. So bend your left knee, dream big, pull back with your right foot and step forward. Keep your left knee lifted as best as you can. Lift your left knee, bring your hands onto your waist, bend your right knee. Take your left leg, cross it over your right, Garudasana. Hook your left foot behind your right leg if you can, and then take your arms out in front of you. Take your right arm underneath your left. If you can wrap your wrists, do eagle pose, Garudasana. Squeeze your legs together, squeeze your arms together, and then think about your right foot. Push it down, stretch up through the top of your head. Tadasana. Unwrap it and reset. Squeeze your legs together and find the four corners of each foot. And work to really feel that stability, that balance in your feet and create it. Stretch your arms up overhead. Bring your hands together and slide your arms back so that they squeeze the back of your head behind your ears. Do your best. That might not be possible. That's okay. Do your best. Side bend to the left. Into Tadasana. Standing side bend. Shorten your left side. Stretch long through your right side. And then think about your feet. Push down through your feet. And now think about your upper body. Turn to the right. And side bend a little more. Stretch through your arms. Push through your feet. And come up to center. As you lower your arms, fold forward. Bend your knees when you need to touch the ground. And step your right leg back. Lunge, Badakanasama. Left ankle under your left knee. Push down through your right toes. Push down through your left toes. Lift your torso. Stretch your arms up. Arta Matsurasana. High lunge or crescent lunge. Grab your right wrist with your left hand and stretch up through your right wrist. Push through your right toes and straighten your right leg. Stretch your left knee forward over your ankle. And side bend to the left. Open up your whole right side here. Stretch back through your right leg, through the front of your right hip. Look to the right a little. Side bend a little more. Crescent, I call this one. It's not really a pose, but it's a really good psoas opener. Hip stabilizer. Come up to center before it falls apart though, because it can do that too. Then we're going to step forward, but keep your right knee lifted. Bend your right knee, do your best. Do this in one step if you can. Step forward, keep your right knee lifted. You can do what you need to do with your hands. Bend into your left knee. Wrap your right leg over your left. Hook your foot behind your calf if possible. Take your left arm underneath your right. Wrap your wrists. Garudasana. Squeeze your legs together. Squeeze your arms together. Push down through your left foot. And steady your breath. Stretch up through your top of your head. Tadasana. Unwrap it. Bring your arms to your sides. Tadasana. Steady your breath. Think about your feet here and push down through your feet. Push down through the four corners of your feet. Push down through your big toes. Push down through your baby toes. Stretch your arms up overhead. Fold forward, Uttanasana. Step your left leg back, lunge. Look forward, lift your torso, stretch your arms up. Chandrasana, crescent lunge pose. Totally got lost there, even though I know what we're doing. Hold your left wrist with your right hand, stretch up, and side bend to the right. Crescent, and then come back up to center. We're going to do eagle pose again, so push down through your right foot, bend your left knee, step forward, lift your left knee, cross your left leg over your right, cross your right arm under your left. That's how we're doing it. Squeeze your legs in, push down through your right foot, stretch up through the top of your head, and before this goes away, tree pose. Unwrap it, bring your left foot onto the inside of your right leg.
Stretch your arms up when you have your stability and push down through your right foot. Stretch up through your arms from that engagement of your right foot. Work to find the four corners in your right foot and evenly ground through them. Bring your left hand onto your hip. Take your left foot off your right leg. Turn your sole of your foot to face behind you, left knee to face forward. Take your right hand, hold outside your left knee. Push your hand in your knee, push back with your knee, and then stretch your left arm back behind you. You can stay here, or the next stage is to hold your left foot. So to do that, lift your knee a little higher and slide your left hand along the outside of your shin. Sorry, slide your right hand along the outside of your shin until you can hold outside your left foot. And then, if you can go further, lift your left foot as high as your left hip. And if you want to go further, push your left foot away from you until your left leg is straight. So wherever you are here, holding your knee, holding your foot, like bent or straight, you get an option. The option is to look over your back shoulder, look over your left shoulder, ground down through your right foot. Imagine the four corners of your left foot and push out through them evenly. If you're looking over your shoulder, come back, bend your left knee, release your left leg, step it back to lunge. Good times. Take a moment in your lunge and reset and find your way here and find your breath. Just one more pose before we come to the other side. Step your left foot forward just a little bit. We're going to warrior one. Turn your left heel in and down so that you can place your left foot flat and roughly have your heels lined up. Bend into your right knee and keep your left foot flat on the ground. Pay attention to your feet. Push down through them. Lift your torso up. Stretch your arms up. Push through your left foot and bend into your right knee. I'm finding my stance is a little short. Just a little. I just have to move my right foot forward about 3 centimeters to find the right length. So if you need to adjust, adjust. But don't go too far. Work to have the outer edge of your left foot pushing into the ground so that the four corners are grounding in your left foot. Virabhadrasana 1. Warrior 1. Bring your hands down to the ground. Lift your left heel. Step it back to plank and lower. Chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Push through your feet. Lift through your upper back. Downward facing dog. Take 3 breaths here. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Bend your knees. Exhale. Look forward and float or walk to the top of your mat. Feet together. Arta Matsurasana. Inhale. If you need to bend your knees, do. Straighten your arms, stretch through your spine, lift your chest, and fold forward, Uttanasana. Everybody bend your knees a little, stand up and reach up, stretch up, hands together, Urdhva Namaste. Bring your arms to your sides, Tadasana. So that's a little bit longer sequence. Now you get to do the other side. Stretch your arms up, hands together, Urdhva Namaste, and fold forward, Uttanasana. Step your right leg back, Banarasana, lunge. Push down through your feet, lift your torso, stretch your arms up. Ashtachandrasana, crescent lunge. Push through your right foot, grab your right wrist with your left hand and stretch up through your right hand and side bend to the left. Crescent, crescent. Come back up to center and step forward, lift your right knee and pause. Garudasana, wrap your right leg over your left, wrap your left arm under your right. Squeeze your legs in, squeeze your arms in, push through your left foot,
Stretch up through your spine and tree pose. Unwrap your legs, bring your right foot inside your left leg. Slow it down a little because now we're getting to the new poses in the sequence. Push your left foot down, push your left leg into your right foot. Steady your breath. Bring your right hand onto your waist. Move your right foot to face back behind you, sole of your foot. Take your left hand down and hold outside your right knee. Have your right knee facing forward. Push your right knee into your left hand. Push your left hand back into your right knee. And find the stability in your left foot. Stretch your right hand back. Stretch your right arm back. Stretch your right shoulder back. And then you can stay here. Or if you want to go for the foothold, lift your right knee higher, slide your left hand down the outside of your right leg and hold outside your right foot. If you want to go closer to legs straight, lift your right foot as high as your right hip. It's going to be getting close to straight. If you want to go straighter, push your right foot away from you. Pull with your left hand on your right foot. Stretch back through your right arm, everybody. So whatever leg variation you're doing here, you get one more choice. Look over your right shoulder. Don't lose it, or do your best. Fall, you fall. But push down through your left foot. Push out through your right foot evenly. If you're looking over your shoulder, come back to center and let it go. Step your right leg back. Lunge. Back to Badakanasama. Whew. Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot of concentration. It's a lot of balance. Look back at your right foot. Good job, right foot. Step your right foot forward a little bit. Warrior one legs. Turn your right heel in and down. Place your right foot flat. Push through your right foot. Bend in your left knee. Lift your torso and stretch your arms up. Warrior one, Virabhadrasana one. Find your stance. Push into the four corners of your right foot evenly. So the baby toe side, the outer edge of your right foot, it's going to want to get weak here. It's going to want to just give in to the inner edge of your foot. But fight for balance. Push for the outer edge of your right foot as well. Push for both four corners of your right foot. Then you use that to bend into your left knee. Stretch up through your pose. And then bring your hands down, lift your right heel, and step it back. Plank pose. Chaturanga Dandasana. Untuck your toes, push through your feet, lift your chest, up dog, and downward facing dog. Steady your breath here. Take 3 breaths. At the end of your 3rd breath, move forward to Uttanasana. Move through Arta Uttanasana. Uttanasana. Arta Uttanasana is the half lift. Come up part way, stretch your spine. Uttanasana is the forward fold. Fold forward and then stand up and reach up when you're ready. And we'll meet in Tadasana. Standing in mountain pose. Steady your breath. Bring your feet together. Stretch your arms up. Bring your hands together behind your head. Behind your ears. Squeeze your head. Stretch up. Inhale. Exhale. Step your left leg back. Fold forward. Lunge. Badakanasama. Inhale. Lift your torso. Stretch your arms up. Crescent lunge. Hold your left wrist and exhale. Side bend to the right. Inhale. Come up to center. Step your left leg forward. Exhale. Wrap your leg over your right. Wrap your right arm under your left. Inhale. Garudasana. Tree pose. Exhale. Vrikshasana. Inhale. Point your left knee forward. And exhale. Hold outside your left knee with your right hand. Stretch your left arm back. Inhale. If you're going to go for straight leg, go for straight leg. And exhale. Go back to lunge. Inhale, step your left leg back. Touch down.
and exhale. That's your moment to reset. Warrior one, pull your left foot forward and down, and inhale, come up. Warrior one. Straighten your right leg and exhale. Pause. Push through your feet. Inhale, stretch up. Pyramid pose. Exhale. Fold over your right leg and hold your right leg somewhere. If you can touch the ground with both legs straight, do. But if you can't, hold your right leg and straighten both legs. You actually get the ability to pull up on your right leg more when you're holding it. Pull up on your right leg, or if you're touching the ground, imagine that your fingers are suction cups and are pulling up on the ground so you can stretch your spine longer along your right leg. And then, if your eyes are closed, like mine often are in this pose, just like dreaming about where else I can be, push through your feet. Look at your feet. Push through your left foot. Push through the four corners. Look at your right foot. Push through the four corners. Slide your right hand back a little bit and move your right hand over until your right arm touches outside your right leg. Take your left hand and touch your right foot with your left hand. Place your left hand on your right foot. Take your right hand up and hold your right hip. Hook your thumb into your hip crease. Now take your left hand outside your right foot. How did it get there? I don't know. If it's there, awesome. If that's like, no, Stephen, that's impossible, you can hold your right leg with your left hand, and that'll help you lift your body up a little bit more. Everybody now push down through your feet, lift through your spine, and twist to the right. Pull back with your right hand, and then lift your right shoulder so that you can lift up in the pose, and then stretch your right arm up if that's available. Revolved triangle. Think about your feet. Push through your feet. Push through the four corners of that back foot. Work for that, work for that. Twist a little more. Untwist. Bring your right hand down. Bend your right knee. Come back to the lunge. And then step back to plank. And lower Chaturanga Dandasana. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Bend your knees, look forward, exhale. And walk or float forward. Come to your fingertips. Inhale, straighten your arms, lift your chest. Arta Uttanasana. Fold forward, exhale, Uttanasana. Push through your feet, stand up, reach up, Urdhva Namaskar. And Tadasana, bring your arms to your sides. Other side. Inhale, stretch up, hands together. Squeeze your head. And exhale. Step your right leg back, touch down, Badakanasama. Inhale, lift your torso, stretch your arms up. Crescent lunge. Hold your right wrist and exhale. Crescent, crescent. Inhale, come up to center. Step your right leg forward, lift your right knee, exhale. Garudasana. Inhale, wrap it. Tree pose, exhale. Inhale, point your right knee forward, hold it with your left hand, stretch your right arm back. And exhale, stay here. If you're going for leg straight or some variation of leg straight, go for it. Hold your foot as you inhale. And straighten your right leg as best as you can as you exhale. And then step it back to the lunge, everybody. Inhale. Warrior one. Exhale. Inhale, straighten your left leg. Stay here, exhale. Push through both feet. Stretch up through your spine. Inhale. Pyramid, fold over your left leg. Exhale. If you can keep your leg straight and touch the ground, do. Otherwise, hold your left leg. Pull up energetically from the floor or pull up on your leg physically and stretch your spine longer. Parsvottanasana, pyramid pose. Think about your feet, especially your back foot. Push through the four corners evenly and hug your thighs in. And then look at your left foot. Walk your left hand over until your arm touches your leg. Then take your right hand, place it on top of your left foot. Then take your left hand, place it onto your left hip, hook your thumb into your hip. And then take your right hand, bring it on the ground outside your left foot. And then think, wow, I didn't know I could do that. How did I get here? And if you didn't get here, that's cool too. Take your right hand, hold on your left shin with your right hand if touching the ground is not available to you here. That'll help you lift your torso, which is our next move. Push down through your left foot, push down through your right foot, push down through your left hand and your right hand and lift your torso. Twist to the left. So everybody twist. Roll your left shoulder up. Look out to the left or even look over your left shoulder. And if you have the stability here to go further, stretch your left arm up and reach up. Revolved triangle, Parivarta, Trikonasana. Push through your feet, squeeze your thighs in, untwist it. Bring your hands onto the ground, lift your right heel to the lunge, and step it back, plank, Chaturanga Dandasana. Upward facing dog, downward facing dog. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale. Child's pose. Exhale. Take your arms back at your sides. So your palms turn up. Hands back near your feet somewhere. Rest your shoulders on your legs. Rest your forehead on the ground. If you need to put a prop under your forehead so that it's touching something, do that rather than having your head float in space. I want you to be able to settle and relax a little here. If your knees hurt like this, you can roll up a blanket and put it between your legs, like between your thighs and your calves. And squeeze it between your legs as you sit. Good work. Now connect to that foundation. Connect to the earth. Get heavy. And then sit up. Swing your legs around in front of you and place your feet on the ground. Place your hands on the ground behind you. Lean back on your hands. Lean back a little and pick your feet up off the ground. Take your right foot underneath your left, cross your left leg over your right. Set up for Arta Matsurasana. So shift your hips forward a little and move them over to the right. Take your left hand right back behind you, stretch your right arm up. Hug your left knee in, so you get nice and tight there, and then stretch up, roll your left shoulder back, and twist to the left. Touch your right arm outside your left leg, and then use that for resistance, for push with your right arm, resist with your left leg, and twist over your left shoulder. Roll both shoulders back, and grow long through your spine. Untwist, come back to center. Bring your hands down to the ground behind you, lean back, and uncross your legs. Swing them out in front of you, left leg underneath, right leg on top. Lean forward, shift your hips over to the left a little, hug your right knee in, take your right hand back behind you, stretch your left arm up. Hug your right knee in, and then twist to the right. Touch your left arm onto your right leg, roll your right shoulder back, push with your left arm, and twist and look over your right shoulder. Stretch up through your spine. Roll your shoulders back. Arta Matsurasana. Come back to center. Untwist. Unwrap your legs and bring the soles of your feet together for Badakanasama. Cobbler's pose, we sometimes call it. Catch your feet, hold your toes, push your feet into each other, and stretch out through your inner thighs. A lot of the work we did had our thighs drawing in towards each other. A lot of the work was hips square, so it's nice to get a nice opening here. Stretch them out after all that strengthening they've done for us. Sit up tall. Move your shoulders down your back. And push with your feet. Stretch through your inner thighs. Badakanasama. We'll stay here for a few more breaths because this pose really requires us to be in it for a little bit of time. Push your feet together. Stretch from your inner groin out through your inner knees. Stretch up through your spine. Take your hands onto your inner thighs and then lift your knees up. Bring your knees together and then stretch your legs out in front of you. Tadasana, staff pose. Straighten your legs, place your hands beside your hips, and sit up tall. Work to arch your lower back, a little bit like cow pose, but just a little bit. And then lift up through your spine. We're really working for straight spine here. But it's tough to do in the lower back for a lot of us here. It's partly why we're going to do this next thing. Everybody bend your knees, separate your feet a little, and then stretch your arms up. Flex at your hip, that means fold forward a little, and then reach for the outer edges of your feet. Bend your knees enough that you can hold the outside of your feet, and then pull on your feet, push down with your hands, and lengthen through your spine. Move your chest forward so that the pressure of your chest on your legs increases some. And then relax your chin down towards your chest. So this is a variation of seated forward fold or Paschimottanasana. If you normally do this with straight legs, well, we'll get a chance to straighten them a little more in a moment. Pull back with your hands, push down with your hands. Lengthen through your spine. And if you want to take your legs a little straighter, slide your heels away. Get your legs a little bit straighter, but not all the way to straight yet. Everybody pull back with your hands on your feet. Push your feet away from you. And then with your hands, pull down onto your feet. And then lift up through your chest. Lengthen through your spine. Move your chest forward. And lower your head down. Get really heavy over your legs. Get really strong in your legs. And where your hands and your feet come together. There'd be a lot of work there. Push your feet away. Pull with your hands and push down with your hands. Stretch long through your spine. If you're really desperate to go to straight legs, well, you probably already went there already. Totally cool. If you're really desperate to go to straight legs and you haven't gone there already yet, and you want to, you can straighten your legs here now. And then everybody, again, repeat. Pull back on your feet. Push your feet into your hands. And then with your hands, push down into your feet so your feet are grounding. And then lift the front of your ribs a little. Lengthen through your spine. And then move your chest forward and down over your legs. Lower your head down until it touches your legs if that's possible. Paschimottanasana. Whatever version you're doing, it's all the same pose. We just get to find our version for today. Keep your feet active, pull on them, push them away. Lift your head and your chest and sit up. Move your hips forward. Lie down on your back, keep your knees bent, place your feet on the ground. We just have 2 more poses.
First one's here. Next one's Shavasana. I know, it's always fun to hear. So bend your knees and place your feet on the ground. Have your feet near your hips. We're going to do a version of bridge pose. We're going to keep our hands down though. So place your hands flat on the ground. Arms straight at your sides, down towards your feet. Push down through your hands, push down through your shoulders, push down through your feet, and lift your butt up. And then stretch your butt towards your knees a little bit. So your quads get a little more work. And then lift your hips higher. Push through your hands, push through your shoulders, and lift through your upper chest. And then feel your feet on the ground. Feel that they're probably not doing very much. Spread your toes, push down through your feet, make them part of the work. Lift your hips a little higher. Hold for 3, 2, 1. Lower your hips down. And stretch your legs out straight on the ground. Stretch your arms down at your sides. And start to come into Shavasana. Separate your feet. Turn your legs out. Separate your arms away from your upper body. Turn your palms up. Close your eyes and rest. All you have to do here is let go. Release your jaw. Relax your belly. Relax your fingers and your wrists, your toes and your ankles. Let yourself go. Start to deepen your breath. And start to move your fingers and your toes. Move your hands and your feet. Stretch up through your arms. Stretch out through your legs. When you're ready, bend your knees, turn to your side, Slowly make your way up to seated. If you can do all of that with your eyes closed, do. It'll just help you stay in this space that we create in Shavasana for a little bit longer. We've got enough coming up. Take this time for yourself. Bring your hands together in front of your heart. The prayer position. Stretch up through your spine. Thanks for setting aside time for yourself today. I know that this sequence could be a little challenging, asks a lot. That's part of what we do. So we ask a lot of ourselves, and we test ourselves, and we push ourselves so that we can be prepared, so that we can hold our ground, create that steady foundation when life starts to push us and question us and ask us to do things that are pulling us over. We can find the stability to hold ourselves in place, to stay true to what we believe, and to go from there. So it does take this practice. It's good practice. Thanks for practicing. Namaste. Well, I hope you enjoyed class. I really, really hope you enjoyed class because I have had to film this class 3 times to get 1 take. Yeah, I don't know what's happened. I've had some technical issues, but I think we got it. I think we got a class for you. Hope that got you fired up in your feet. Hope you were able to understand the power of your foundation and your poses and how that really translates into stability in your poses. And I hope you had a good time. If you'd like to do another class with me in the future, you can click right there and add that class to your watch later list. And if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel yet, please just click my picture there and subscribe. If you've got any questions, stick it in the comments and I'll get back to you. Thanks, OMies.